Chosen one, your time has come. The limitations you have been taught for years, the stories of deficiency imposed on you, are no longer valid. You did not come to this world to live crawling. You are a representative of abundance, fertility, divine power. The world thinks that it will be enriched by sweating, laboring, struggling, but you are different. You have entered into the flow of the divine order. Doors are opening for you. Previously hidden resources are being directed to you. Until today, they have said, you have to work hard, you have to strive more. But the truth is, your prosperity will come through faith, not sweat. Divine guidance is calling you to a new dimension. Now is the time to believe, to receive, to start walking. The letters of blessing signed by God for you are in the mail. You are moving effortlessly, freely, like the flow of a river, towards abundance. Be strong, do not retreat. Doors are opening, barriers are breaking down, a new era is beginning. I have been chosen. I am the heir of divine abundance. The gates are open to me, abundance is flowing into my life. Say this sentence, declare it out loud, and feel how your energy changes. So prove it to yourself immediately and write 77 in the comments. Divine abundance will flow from you. It will overflow. A new era will begin with you. The awaited moment of divine alignment has arrived, ushering in the era where those marked by higher purpose step into the limitless flow of celestial favor. This juncture was never random. It was intricately woven into the fabric of destiny. While many navigate life blindly, pulled by the tides of uncertainty, a different course has been mapped for those who recognize the unseen hand guiding their steps. Every experience, every hardship, every unexpected turn was a meticulous preparation for this shift. What stands before you is not mere encouragement. It is a catalytic force. This is the threshold that separates those who exist from those who reign. A grand design has called forth its own, and the call has landed on you. The essence of boundless provision has long been embedded within the core of existence, waiting for the appointed moment to stir. This is not random fortune, nor a product of mere chance, but an unfolding of what was always encoded in the unseen layers of reality. There will be those who attribute sudden elevation to circumstance, those who seek rational explanations for the inexplicable, but their understanding is not required for the fulfillment of what has been ordained. The celestial framework has shifted. Attention from realms beyond mortal sight now converges upon this instant. Forces unseen stand poised for the declaration that unlocks the next era. The quiet murmur of divine order has swelled into a command that cannot be ignored. The season of emergence is here. For too long, burdens never intended to be carried have weighed heavily, siphoning away vision, energy, and faith. The relentless pressure of material constraints, obligations that drain rather than empower, cycles of limitation masquerading as inevitability. All of these are remnants of an existence meant to be surpassed. The confines imposed by fear, scarcity, and struggle begin to crack. The weight that has defined the past is being lifted, and in its place, the lightness of liberation takes form. What once felt like an endless winter gives way to an atmosphere charged with renewal, an environment shifting to sustain abundance rather than depletion. The very currents of reality have reversed their direction. Let the decree be spoken. Limitation no longer holds dominion. The boundaries of lack dissolve entirely. What was once an impassable barrier now stands as an open gate. That which hindered movement is eradicated beyond recognition. The construct of deficiency crumbles in the presence of an undeniable shift. There is no longer a need to chase after fleeting measures of prosperity, for true provision flows from a source beyond temporal limitations. The laws that govern material gain do not dictate the inheritance unfolding now. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. The framework of existence itself has never been confined to the structures built by mortal hands. The blueprint of abundance is inscribed within the very fabric of creation. While others place their trust in unstable systems, relying on efforts that yield exhaustion, those attuned to a higher order tap into a supply that cannot be depleted. The vast reserves of divine wealth are not held within any earthly vault. They are boundless, unrestricted, and immune to limitation. What is meant to arrive cannot be obstructed. The pathways that seemed closed now reveal themselves as entry points into something far greater. This is not about striving. It is about stepping into alignment. The struggle known to past generations does not dictate the trajectory of what comes next. Cycles of insufficiency dissolve under the force of what has been set into motion. The weight of generational burdens falls away as a new lineage of abundance is established. No force can override what has already been set in motion. The unfolding reality transcends shifting economies, unstable markets, or temporary setbacks. The decree has been issued. The name has been spoken. The release is underway. The world teaches exhaustion as a method of achievement, endless labor, constant striving, the pursuit of success through relentless toil. But that is not the way of those who walk in divine orchestration. Provision does not come by the sweat of survival, but through alignment with an order that supersedes natural law. There is no need to wring prosperity from the soil of struggle when the floodgates of abundance have been unlocked. The requirement is not to chase, but to receive, not to exhaust oneself, but to recognize and embrace the flow already in motion. The gateway between the seen and unseen operates on two principles: unwavering certainty and complete surrender. Certainty that refuses to be limited by present conditions, and surrender that releases the burden of control in favor of divine strategy. That which has been promised is not an illusion. It is not a vague hope. It is a certainty. The unseen is more real than what has been experienced thus far, and it is in the process of materialization. There is no delay, only a precise unfolding. What was always meant to manifest is now within reach. Wealth does not arrive to stagnate. It moves with purpose. What enters the hands of those marked for something greater does not remain contained. It flows, it expands, it transforms the world around it. The call is not merely to receive, but to steward, to direct the influx where it is meant to go. What is entrusted multiplies. Those who manage well what they have been given are positioned for increase beyond measure. The world clings tightly to what it has, fearing depletion, but the principle of expansion functions differently. What is released in faith returns exponentially. Nothing in existence unfolds out of sync with the order set before time began. The alignment of provision adheres to a precise schedule, not one dictated by human urgency, but by divine orchestration. What once seemed delayed was, in reality, being cultivated for maximum impact. What once felt out of reach was merely waiting for the precise moment of activation. Now, the appointed time has arrived. The unseen movement converges into tangible manifestation. The doors that were once sealed swing open. The opportunities once withheld now flood forth. The waiting has not been in vain. It has been preparation for something beyond imagination. The shift from passive expectation to active declaration has arrived. This is the moment where what has been read becomes what is lived. The spoken word has power beyond comprehension. What is decreed in certainty reshapes the very fabric of reality. The call is no longer to observe, but to step into the reality that has been waiting all along. It is heard, it is seen, it is unfolding. This is the moment where the intangible becomes tangible. That which was once confined to thought becomes evident in every sphere of existence. What has been carried in silence now echoes across realms. The weight of waiting has lifted. The manifestation begins now. The outpouring of divine abundance is not achieved through relentless labor or manipulation. It is decreed from realms unseen. While many struggle to accumulate, striving under the weight of their own limitations, your increase flows from a higher ordinance. What was once locked away is now being released. What seemed inaccessible is being placed in your reach. The constraints that bound previous generations dissolve under the force of a new spiritual inheritance. Where there was lack, there will be overflow. No force, be it economic systems, policies, or human opposition, can intercept what has already been appointed to be yours. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Imagine your life as a mighty river, born from a quiet, hidden spring high on a rugged hillside. This river flows steadily, its waters clear and purposeful, nourished by a source known only to the one who charts every course. Just as a river does not strain or force its path, it simply follows the land, finding every crevice to nurture life along its banks. So too are those embraced by divine favor, carried forward by an unseen current. Their path is not defined by strenuous effort or ceaseless struggle. It is marked by a deep, unshakable trust that the source provides in ways that no earthly system can replicate. In this sacred design, your journey is not one of relentless, exhausting labor, but of a gracious invitation into an abundance that flows from the heavens. The prevailing wisdom of the world commands endless toil, pushing harder, grinding longer, sacrificing peace for provision. But this is not the rhythm of the ones walking in divine orchestration. Those who align with higher laws do not wrestle for survival. They move with a current of unseen favor, where resources gravitate toward them in ways beyond logic or calculation. The weight of human effort is not the key that unlocks provision. It is the alignment of faith that opens unseen storehouses, causing provision to emerge from unexpected places. When we consider the everyday struggles of those who labor under the weight of a broken system, it is easy to lose sight of the promise that has been reserved for the chosen. In our modern lives, we are bombarded by messages that equate success with sweat and sacrifice. We are told that only by outworking our peers, by counting every hour, every drop of perspiration, can we hope to secure our future. Yet those who have discovered the secret of divine orchestration know that there exists an alternative path, a path paved with the confidence of those who have surrendered their burdens and embraced a higher purpose. This path is not measured by the extent of human endeavor, but by the strength of faith that declares, without hesitation, that the heavens are actively engaged in rewriting our destinies. Consider for a moment the imagery of a harvest in its full bloom. Farmers do not simply force nature to produce, they plant their seeds, trust in the natural cycles, and then allow the seasons to unfold. In the same way, divine provision operates on a timetable far more perfect than any human plan. The seeds of faith, once planted, break through the soil of adversity and blossom into blessings that defy our limited understanding. It is not our frantic efforts that bring forth this harvest. It is our deep-rooted belief that the Creator's plan is already at work, orchestrating every detail with precision and grace. For those who have experienced this transformative flow of divine favor, life becomes a testament to the power of spiritual alignment. There is a serene assurance in knowing that the challenges of the world, economic downturns, systemic hurdles, even personal hardships, are not stumbling blocks, but stepping stones on the journey toward an abundant destiny. When you place your trust in this higher calling, you are not merely surviving, you are thriving under the canopy of an everlasting promise. Every setback becomes a setup for a breakthrough, every trial a prelude to a triumph that could only be orchestrated by the hand that holds the universe together. In the quiet moments of reflection, when doubts attempt to cloud your vision, remember that your identity is not defined by the limits of the human realm, but by the infinite reach of divine potential. Just as a river carves its way through the terrain, guided by a force far greater than itself, so too are you being led toward a destiny filled with promise and possibility. The modern world may urge you to measure your worth by your toils and labors, but the truth is far richer. Your true value is found in the divine connection that assures you that the heavens have prepared a place of abundance, a sanctuary where your needs are met before you even utter them. Let your heart be filled with the melody of hope and the assurance that every moment is touched by divine grace. There is an indescribable power in simply aligning yourself with this higher calling. When you let go of the relentless pursuit of material gain and instead anchor your soul in the certainty of spiritual provision, you unlock a reservoir of blessings that flow into your life like a never-ending river. These blessings are not confined to the accumulation of wealth as the world defines it. They are the profound gifts of peace, joy, and fulfillment that only a divine strategy can bestow. Every step you take in this journey is a step toward an inheritance that transcends human understanding. It is a calling to release the burden of constant striving and to embrace the natural rhythm of divine exchange. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, open field where the promise of a bountiful harvest awaits. The soil is rich, the air is filled with anticipation, and every seed you plant is nurtured by the hand of providence. This is not merely a poetic vision, it is the reality for those who have chosen to align their lives with the greater purpose set before them. In this state of surrender and trust, the obstacles that once loomed large are transformed into opportunities for growth. The very act of releasing your own efforts and leaning into the divine design invites an influx of grace that surpasses all human calculations. It is a dynamic process, a spiritual exchange, where your willingness to step aside from the frantic race opens the door for the supernatural to take center stage. And as the divine currents carry you forward, you begin to see that true prosperity is not a matter of accumulation, but of alignment with a purpose that is eternal and all-encompassing. The truth is clear. The conventions of this world may celebrate ceaseless effort, but they cannot compare to the miraculous flow of divine favor. It is not by our own strength that we are sustained. It is by the profound and mysterious workings of a higher power that our lives are transformed. This higher power has already set in motion a plan that surpasses every human expectation. It whispers promises of relief and abundance into the very depths of your soul, calling you to rise above the fray and to claim the legacy that has been destined for you since time began. Embrace this divine rhythm with open arms. Recognize that the forces of the material world, with all their clamor and chaos, pale in comparison to the sublime orchestration taking place on a spiritual plane. There is a divine symphony playing, a harmonious tune that guides you gently toward a life where every need is met, every barrier dissolved, and every heartache turned into an opportunity for miraculous growth. In this sacred space, the labor of your hands is secondary to the power of your belief, a belief so strong that it transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the mundane into the miraculous. As you continue on this journey, let your daily walk be a reflection of the faith that fuels you. With each sunrise, know that you are being enveloped by a grace that is both mighty and tender. Every challenge, every setback, is part of a grand tapestry woven by a hand that is both loving and purposeful. And as you stand in the assurance of divine provision, your life becomes a living testimony, a beacon of hope to those who are still caught in the cycle of relentless striving. Your story is not one of struggle, but of transformation, not of scarcity, but of an inexhaustible flow of blessings. There will come moments when the noise of the world tries to convince you that only through constant, exhausting effort can success be achieved. In those moments, remember the gentle, persistent flow of the river, the way it carves deep canyons over time, without ever forcing its pace, always trusting in the natural course set by a greater design. That same gentle trust is the secret to unlocking the doors of heaven, where every step is met with an unexpected gift and every moment is ripe with possibility. So let this truth resonate deeply within your heart. The blueprint of your destiny is not etched by human hands, but is written in the language of the divine. When you release the burdens of relentless effort and open yourself to the flow of spiritual favor, you invite an extraordinary abundance into every facet of your existence. This is the transformative promise reserved for those who have chosen to walk in the light of divine guidance, a promise that assures you that your every need will be met with grace, your every challenge met with strength, and your every dream fulfilled in the perfect timing of heaven. As you step forward with confidence and surrender, let the power of this divine truth guide you. Your life is not defined by the limitations of what you do, but by the infinite possibilities of who you are in the eyes of the Almighty. Embrace the journey with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit that is unafraid to trust in the miraculous unfolding of your destiny. The divine flow is constant, the provision unending, and your legacy, when aligned with this higher purpose, becomes a radiant testimony to the power of faith. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. May you walk each day with the assurance that the unseen hand of providence is ever present, gently steering you toward a horizon filled with promise and prosperity. Let every breath you take affirm the truth that your worth is immeasurable, your destiny divinely ordained, and your journey guided by a love that transcends all human understanding. This is not just a vision, it is your reality. The path of divine favor awaits, and with every step, you are drawing closer to the abundant life that has been promised to you. Embrace this sacred invitation with a grateful heart, and know that as you trust in the higher plan, every river of resistance will transform into a channel for blessing. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, painted by the brushstrokes of divine providence, and every moment is an opportunity to witness the miraculous unfolding of a destiny that is both timeless and ever new. Step boldly into this day, secure in the knowledge that the legacy of divine abundance is yours for the taking, and let your heart sing with the joy of a promise fulfilled beyond measure. Two forces accelerate divine manifestation: unshakable trust and the surrender of human struggle. Trust perceives beyond visible circumstances, anchoring itself in the certainty of unseen realities. Surrender releases rigid striving, making space for divine strategies to unfold. The declaration stands firm: those who walk in alignment with divine intent will not chase blessings. Rather, blessings will pursue them, overtaking them at every turn. What is ordained is not passively awaited. It is magnetized by conviction, spoken into existence by those who refuse to be confined by earthly reasoning. Abundance is not meant to be hoarded. It is meant to flow. Those who become vessels for divine resources find their capacity multiplied. Just as a river widens when it carries more, those who distribute without fear are entrusted with more than they could have asked for. This is a reversal of conventional thinking, where many cling tightly to what they have, fearing depletion. The ones aligned with divine flow release freely, knowing that every act of generosity initiates a cycle of multiplication. There is a precise moment for everything appointed in the unseen realms to break forth into tangible reality. What appeared as stagnation was strategic positioning. What felt like delay was alignment of divine elements for maximum impact. The appointed time does not adhere to human expectations. It unfolds precisely when every variable is set in its perfect place. No moment too soon, no second too late. That long-awaited shift, that long-anticipated breakthrough is now at the threshold of manifestation. Now is the time to move beyond passive reflection into active participation. This is not simply a message, it is a call to align. Words have the power to shape reality, and declarations spoken with conviction rearrange circumstances to mirror higher decrees. Say it with certainty: I walk in my divine inheritance. These words do not merely affirm, they activate. They alter unseen frequencies, dissolve unseen barriers, and bring forth what has long been prepared. The unseen realms have recognized your alignment. The signals have been received. The release has been initiated. What was lying dormant, waiting for the appointed time, is now set into motion. This moment is not a possibility. It is a certainty. The long-awaited shift is unfolding. The barriers that once stood have been lifted. The currents of divine provision are in motion. What once felt out of reach is now within grasp. What seemed locked away is now freely flowing. The very structures that once resisted are yielding effortlessly. The weight of struggle is replaced by the ease of divine coordination. What required relentless pursuit before now comes forth as a natural unfolding. The appointed time is here. The shift is now. The release has begun.